Thanks for clicking on this video. In today's video, we're going to be working on this structure right here. Without further ado, let's rewind the time. Alright everybody, welcome back to another day of daily sketching. We're going to be working on another Inktober. Today we're going to be working on sweep. So initially I'm going to start with drawing the horizon line. I'm thinking about this Rhino CAD experience sweep. So it's going to be like a twirly, swirly looking building. I think you can imagine something like what Zaha Hadid did with her, you know, architectural abstract painting style. Building something like that in real life is actually pretty hard, but if it's just drawing, totally doable. I'm thinking of making this out of wood, because usually making sweep structures they use concrete, but imagine if you can do it with wood. I really like buildings where they can integrate structure and human like usage. What I mean is, for example, this edge of the structure is actually a chair, but it also is part of the structure. So the structure is working together with the furnitures and everything else. I'm going to go ahead and add in some details. Now I'm going to add in some foreground design, integrating landscape and the building together. So even the building's landscape is on full sweep mode, just like that maybe. And then this could be entered from the side over here. Why don't we go ahead and move on to a 01 today. We're moving up a very quick pace. This is one wooden structure. I'm going to try and make this as realistic as possible and as doable. Now, where's the people drawing today? Where's the sweep? Where's the characters? I don't know just yet. I don't know. I was always trying to integrate character and people together, but I always made the people look pretty big. And I realized that's not always the case for integrating characters in architectural drawings. Sometimes small people, like a small drawing of people, could be part of the architectural sketch. You can show enough character through a small scaled drawing of people as well. So I'm hoping that I could achieve something like that today here. So I want you to imagine like a bunch of small thin paper structures going across, filling it in, like a slinky. So this is like a slinky structure made out of wood, but the problem is, how do you make this part? You know, you can't just have like a one huge veneer to make it. So I'm sort of thinking about that as I go. Or I could just keep this as a fantasy thing. Maybe it's like a huge trunk that we cut in half. After all, this is just a concept art. Not really a real drawing. It's just, you know, working with your creative imagination and letting your ideas flow. So as it goes inwards, I'm going to try and make it thinner or thicker. I think I need to make it thicker because it's going to face forward eventually. So I'm just going to do this part right now. Now in architectural drawings, even if it's like a concept stage, the accurate you can make things look, the better the communication. Now for my other drawings, I haven't really paid attention to the accuracy as much, but I had a feeling I'll try my best on this one today. Actually, let me just draw the legs first today. We're just gonna work our way towards it. Make him wear a hat. I'm sensing that I'm losing a little bit of detail here and I'm focusing too much on this. So why don't I move on and try out the other sections? I've been kind of avoiding it because I didn't know exactly how to approach this. As it comes around here, I'm thinking maybe I'll change the direction of the wood. So maybe it's like facing inwards like this and then continues upwards. Now aesthetically, I'm not entirely sure how pleasing this looks. It might turn out well, it might not. We'll see, I guess. A nice second floor with a fence, and maybe like a table and a chair for people to, you know, chill out. So I kind of want to show the textures underneath the wooden sweep. So I'll just sort of create this nice gradations of line from top to bottom. I'm not liking how this looks, but honestly, this creates a nice leading line to the second floor. I might actually convert this to a staircase. So integrating usage and usage and structures together. Let's go ahead and do this part as well. But to show that this is also the inside, I want to add some people sitting here as well. I've been always trying to use this brush pen. I don't think I've still figured out how to properly use it just yet, but since today we're working with wooden structures, this is actually perfect for it, because it's really hard to make consistent straight lines with it. In fact, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to create like this different pressures and different sensitivity with this. This allows it to look like it's organic, and that's exactly what I want to achieve with this pen today. I'm gonna accentuate the edges of this more than the edges of the top side. I will try and make it jaggedy because this is a bunch of thin wooden lines, and try my best to add thick lines without making it making it too thick. It's really hard to do this. Okay, I think that creates a nice contrast in the drawing. I realized I went above my drawings today, so I'm gonna slightly move it downwards. Yep, okay. I'm gonna add in a horizontal line instead of like a vertical line, because this is going from in to out. I mean, this is going from like, this is going inwards, right? So, horizontal line. And maybe I'll just add in just a little bit more textures here and there, maybe some grass. Alright, okay, I wanted to use mahogany today, this color. This is absolutely a beautiful color, I feel like. A nice, warm, pinkish red wood. Now, this is like a pretty expensive pavilion if you actually use wood color that's, you know, like purple like this. I find that this color of wood, they're usually used for furnitures and luxurious stuff. Go ahead and keep a thin line going across, following the form, leaving some parts white. By following the forms of the lines, you can communicate with the viewers, or you can communicate with whoever looking at your drawings a lot more efficiently, right? It's not about drawing a render here, it's about communication, or at least that's my philosophy. I realize today's video is very architecture heavy, but once in a while I should probably do this to actually, you know, improve in my architectural skills, because so far I feel like all I've been doing was just drawing. And initially I started out this architecture or like daily sketching YouTube to improve in my architectural skills, like designing skills. So I was hoping like I would be doing something like this more. Well, I guess I have been designing buildings every day, but not in detail like this, like how to build and how to actually think about the structures and everything else. Alright, let's go ahead and do the same here. I'm actually gonna make the curve on the bottom thicker because this is in the shadow, and I assume there's no light hitting the bottom of the floor here. And let's go ahead and do it from the top to the bottom. Keep the form, I messed it up. Now keeping the seat as bright as possible would allow people to think that there's light shining through. Right now I'm adding in a little bit more finer details with the darker pen. I hope this creates enough visual interest in the foreground. I'll try and make this part darker, and since this is in the shadow side, I'll move this darker as well. I'll actually try and make it darker here. Adding in some shadows. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of the grounds as grays. So by adding the shadow, it makes the drawing look alive. Hope you know what I mean by that now. Alright, okay, let me just go ahead and add in some more streaks here. And there it is. That's it. That's it for today. Thank you guys for sticking around until the end of the video. This is Inktober day 10. Oh, we're already done 10. And the topic is sweep. So I imagine like an architectural rhino sweep going on here and there. And I decided to make it out of wood, but I don't know if this is exactly feasible. Hopefully I could create something like this to create a connection between the first floor and the second floor, and etc, etc. But I hope the drawing looks nice and you guys enjoyed it. Please check out my other videos, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye!